made it through the security check, which took forever. But now we've planted ourselves. And we're gonna eat and chill for another 3 hours. Officially 1 hour for you, an hour and a half for me to go. We've just dealt with the Portaloo situation, which was delightful as always, and now we've just prepped our little kits ready to go. How you feeling? It's not good. So much waiting around. Be good when we can start. Wave 3. You got it. Wave 4 cannon has just gone off, which means my partner will be starting any second now. I am about to head to my corral as my corral opens in 5, and hopefully I'll start in the next half hour or so. Oh my god, the amount of people going over the bridges. Look at the people. Oh my god.
That's what somebody was saying.
Again, you will get plenty of support, plenty of support.
Let's go! Entering Brooklyn. Brooklyn is going off. 15 K's down. K's down. This bridge fucking sucked. I hated that bridge. Fuck you, bridge. We just passed the 30k mark. I'm not good, but just over 10 k's to go. Last bridge. Down.
You got this, let's go!
This is one of the hardest races I've ever done, ever.
our UFC Marathon. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you who has fun.
Hunderttausenden, die 42,195 Kilometer durch die 5 Stadtbezirke der West.
Good morning, everybody. I thought I would do a little debrief now for those of you who are interested to hear my thoughts. It has been 2 weeks since the New York City Marathon, actually a little bit over 2 weeks. We got back to Sydney a couple of days ago. I have many thoughts about that marathon. Out of the whopping 3 that I've done now, which is unbelievable, that was truly the hardest course, just everything. It was so challenging. As you'll have seen, we had to get there quite early. So let's just start from the start of the day. We had to be up quite early, and the thing that I guess was different to Sydney and London is with New York, because everybody starts on Staten Island, you pretty much have to get there by a very early time, because otherwise it's damn near impossible to get there. With getting there, you have to pre-select your transport early, and because we were doing it through a tour provider, it was fine. We automatically had buses for us, which was great, but otherwise you had to pre-select a ferry or buses, and pretty much, yeah, you had to be there early because the bridge shuts, so then anyone who wasn't over the bridge by a certain time meant that you would have had to get the ferry. Anyway, it's a whole schmozzle, but it did mean that even though I was in the last wave, my partner was in wave 4, we weren't starting till much later. We had to be there well before 8 a.m. So there was a lot of waiting around. It didn't really bother me, but as people who run or do races, you know, like, you obviously get nervous, and it kind of interferes with your fueling strategy, because for me, I always know that I fuel a certain way now, and so not being able to do my normal fueling because I had to be up early, not to mention, like, it's not the normal stuff that I would eat while I was over there. I'm not a big bagel person, I don't mind a bagel, but our options were pretty limited. That was like the first different thing, so there was a lot of waiting around at the start. I cannot complain in the sense that the weather was absolutely beautiful. I could imagine how miserable it would have been a few years ago when it was pissing with rain. There's pretty much no cover at the Start Village. You're all just sitting out in like a parking lot or on the grass basically, and getting in, it was crazy. Like, the line to get in was insane. It took us, I think 45 minutes to an hour to actually get into the Start Village, because they have these security metal detector things, which is, I guess, common in America for obvious reasons. So better to be safe than sorry, but my God, it was a slow start to the day. Getting into the race, holy moly, it was a beautiful start. Going over the Staten Island Bridge was probably one of the top moments for me in the whole race, because you get to just see the outline of New York. It was a little bit warm, I will say, because we kicked off, I think I started at 11:35 to be exact, after the cannon. Oh my God, speaking of, everyone kind of raves about like how it's like an experience with the cannon. I don't. It scared the shit out of pretty much everyone. So after, I think at every start of the wave, like every new wave start, a cannon goes off, which is, I guess, cool, but it's also terrifying. And the first time it happened, everyone was like, what the hell was that? Quickly, again, getting off track here, but the security was kind of insane and a little bit scary, because I took some footage of it, but you've got snipers on the roof, you've got helicopters flying and circling nonstop, and you're like, why are you all freaking nuts over here? Obviously better to be safe than sorry, but like, my God. Anyway, back to the race. So Staten Island start, beautiful, going over the bridge. Some people actually went under. My partner went under. I got to go over. I've heard chatter, look, not that it really makes much difference, but if you went under, apparently the elevation wasn't as bad, but obviously you don't get as spectacular view as over. You know, whatever. You start off by going through Brooklyn, which I have to say, people do not lie, the atmosphere in Brooklyn was insane, the amount of cheering, and it was crazy. Now, I'm gonna sound like a bit of negative Nancy here, and I don't mean to whinge, but like, this is just my honest thoughts. The thing that I found very frustrating, even though the atmosphere and the cheering was incredible, I don't know if it was just me because I was at the back, but there were times when the cheering and the crowd supporting would converge too much onto the course, to the point where our path went from being like this to like this, because spectators were just crowding the path, so it was super duper narrow. And then everyone kind of has to obviously slow down, and people get, I didn't love that, if I'm being honest. Don't hate me, but that was just my honest thought. Apart from that, crowds were absolutely spectacular. There was a point, I think coming, maybe it was into Queens or somewhere, the crowd was so supportive, and you're never gonna like not love the signs that you see along the way. One that I tried to get footage of that you may have caught in the YouTube clip is like anything like reality TV. I'm obsessed with Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Vanderpump Rules. Like, there was one sign that said, "Run like Tom Sandoval singing to you." Love that. That's when I filmed for this. And then I think I put it in my TikTok clip that Lisa Barlow wants you to go to the distance on this one. And I was like, People get me. Runners get me. It was great. Atmosphere was 10 out of 10. I would say, yes, it was obviously, well above Sydney's atmosphere. Sydney's atmosphere's got to grow. Now that she's a major, she will get better. But compared to London, I'd say London was still equally amazing. So yeah, I wouldn't say that it was that much more shadowing over London, but yeah, New York was definitely up there. Another small complaint, I don't mean to sound so negative, but another small complaint is I found the water station situation super disorganized. Again, I don't know if that was just me, but they'd have water signs, and obviously not every water station, but most water stations would do water and electrolytes. And when I was running, there would be like a sign saying water, and I'd run up to the water thing. They're like, no, this is electrolytes. I was like, oh, okay, then I have to keep running to the next one. And there were points where it kind of got mixed up. All the water cups were in a plain cup, but the Gatorade ones were in a Gatorade cup. There was a point where I was like, oh, no, I don't want the electrolytes. And she's like, no, this is water, but it was in a Gatorade cup. It was just confusing. I found that they weren't prepared enough as well. Like, I'd get to a station and there'd only be like 3 people there and they wouldn't have cups ready. Again, maybe that's just like back of the pack crew. I don't know. Another small back of the pack complaint is at the Start Village. They do not lie. Those portaloos are not good when you're up the back. And that was super disorganized as well. There was no one monitoring lines, and yeah, chaos. So definitely take extra toilet paper, which I'm so glad I did because it was nasty and there was no toilet paper left. Back to the race. This is gonna sound so negative, this whole thing. I will say I was a little bit disappointed with what you actually see of New York. I don't know. I guess because I was so lucky with London. The London course is so beautiful. Like, yes, you run through some suburban parts of London, but you also get to see so much of the attractions of London. You run past Big Ben, you run past London Eye, you run past Buckingham Palace. Like, you just see a lot of attractions. New York, you didn't really see shit. You ran through the boroughs, which was great, but they were like just random streets. I don't know. It was just odd. And like even the bridges, again, maybe I didn't research enough, but I kind of just assumed that you go over Brooklyn Bridge. We didn't do that either. So all the bridges, I was like, huh? Speaking of bridges, Queensboro Bridge. Again, they were not lying about that. That motherfucking bridge. I'm super grateful in my wave. We all knew it was up. We all, most of us walked it. It was just never freaking ending. It was just never ending. And that's what I'd say was different with Sydney. I knew Sydney had elevation, but I didn't feel like there were any points where the elevation was crazy. Like, you got over it super quickly. New York, the elevation just seemed longer. So my partner, obviously he was in wave 4, so I was in wave 5. He's just an absolute legend, superhero. He ran the whole thing. He didn't walk at all. And he said, yeah, he was kind of hoping that on that bridge, people would pull back and walk, but no one seemed to. So he's like, I just had to keep going. I was like, I could not. That was the one part of the entire race, which was, I think, I can't remember where it was in the race. Like, it was past the halfway mark, but that was the one point that I was like, I can't even can't even bring myself to walk, run, walk. It was, I'm walking up here. And then I only ran when I said that, yep, it's actually downhill from here, which took forever. I honestly think it was maybe 10 minutes of walking. The crowd coming off that bridge there was phenomenal. So that was really good. Obviously, one thing that was just unfortunate was the day before / the night before the race, New York changed their clocks back, which was a little bit sad because it meant that I would finish in the dark, which I was so optimistic because I did not realize until a few days before. I was like, as we were doing things, I was like, I'll be fine. Like, it's still light till like 6:37. Like, I will be fine. And then the clocks changed and I was like, oh, never mind. I did end up finishing in the dark, but nonetheless, it was great. So happy when I hit Central Park. So my running coach, Finn, had done a run plan for me for the race. And he said to me, for the last 3 kilometers, send it. And I was like, dude, I can't send it for 3 freaking kilometers at the end of the race. And I was so scared because I thought Central Park would be a lot more hilly at the end. And don't get me wrong, there was a hill right at the end. But there was a point where I think I managed to get a really quick pace right at the end that was downhill. I was like, I'm sending it. Like, in my mind, I'm like, Finn, I'm sending it. And then the last like 500 meters was like a hill. And I was like, well, it's good while it lasted. But thankfully, me sending it in that last little bit paid off. I'm not gonna lie, I did when my watch ticked over and was like, you've hit the marathon. I was like, oh thank God. That's when I was like, I'm walking up this last little hill in the park before I did see the finish line and I sprinted towards the end. I ended up PBing, which was amazing. I think I shaved 3 minutes off my Sydney time, which I'm so I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. So when I hit the end, I was super emotional just because it was really hard. I didn't, like, obviously in London, I was super emotional. I think it was my first one. I was just so proud of myself, and obviously proud of myself every time. Sydney, I just, again, different vibe. It's my hometown. It's where I grew up, and because I knew the course and I knew I had friends like around, I was just so like happy and like, woo, July out. I could go have a beer and some food. But this one, I was just so wrecked. And I was so emotional. I was like, this was the hardest thing ever. Beyond stoked that I walked away with a 3-minute PB from Sydney and shaved considerable time since my first marathon of London. It was really, really sweet. Probably one of the standout moments for me is walk for about 500 meters maybe. You get given your medal, and then you slowly keep getting bits and pieces. They give you your finisher bag, and then after that you get your poncho. And the look of it, I thought it was like kind of like raincoaty material. I don't know. But the inside's really, really soft. And so they kind of give it to you rolled up. And I was like, okay. And everyone's obviously kind of fumbling around. Everyone's sore. But they've actually got people after that who help you. They're like, oh, let me put your poncho on for you, which was just the sweetest thing. And the lady she's like, please, can I help you? And I was like, oh, thank you so much. And she's unwrapping my poncho and she puts it on me, and I'm so sad I didn't get this on camera. I was fighting back tears as it is at this point. She puts it around me and she goes, New York is so proud of you. I lost it. I was like, thank you so much. So that was beautiful. And it's people like that really do make a race like that just so special. And then you walk back another fucking 2 kilometers. I guess annoying for us because we were like, oh, we're so lucky. Our hotel is super close by to the park. We'll be fine getting home. So where you finish, I don't know how I can show this very well. Where you finish the race, you here. Our hotel, you really just had to go there and back. And in like 10 minutes, we would have been home. No. Everything's barricaded off. So they're sending you the completely wrong way for like literally, I think it's like 2 miles. At the end of a marathon, 2 miles. And then they send you out, and even slowly walking back, they cut you off again. You have to go this way. It just took me, I think, 45 minutes to get home. Obviously, I'm walking quite slowly. I'm like hobbling along. And by this point, it's dark. It's a little bit chilly. Thank God for that poncho, but it was cold. Thankfully, my partner had finished before me, and he was like, look, this is where you go. Anyway, I made it back to the hotel. My poor partner was bloody dead at the end of it. But I was like, oh, thank God I'm back. And I have to say, touch wood, because I understand how people feel. Like, I normally do feel a bit ill post-marathon. Just, it gets to a point in the race where you just don't want to stomach things. Anyone who feels fine stomach-wise, I don't know how you do it, but you do feel a bit ick. By the time I got back, I was like, I'm dead, but I'm so happy I'm back. My partner was like curled up in bed, not having a good time. I had a shower, and I was like, you know what? I'm so happy. I'm sore, I'm tired, but I'm so grateful. And again, New York is one of those great places, like London was, where a lot of places were offering some freebies for us finishers, so that was really sweet. And around the corner from us, literally like 2 blocks away, was a Shake Shack, and Shake Shack were giving out free burgers to all runners. So I was like, I'm gonna go get me a burger. My partner just was not up for anything, and I was like, I need this right now. And so I went and got my burger. I got some like chips and a drink, and I came back and I sat in bed with my partner, and it was the best burger I think I've ever eaten in my life. Like, it just went down so well. That kind of wraps up hopefully everything about the marathon. It was so hard. I'm really grateful. I'm really happy. If I had told myself this 5 years ago, I wouldn't believe it. Not only was I not a runner, having done my 3rd marathon in New York after only completing the Sydney Marathon 9 weeks before that, no words. No freaking words. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I hope that wasn't too negative, and I hope I didn't ramble on too much, but those are just some of my thoughts coming from that marathon. I am very excited now. I'm gonna have a bit of a break from the heavy training. Yeah, I'm just gonna get back into strength training. Still debating what I want to do with Muay Thai, if I want to continue that or even focus more on that. I don't know. Really pull back on the running. I really still want to keep running, but can't say it's my favorite thing to do right now. I just need a little bit of a break. Yeah, and just enjoy training again. Like hitting the gym and strength training, and I'm like, I'm so excited. Getting back to my strength training roots. And I'm really excited as well. I think I'm going to focus a lot more on my coaching now. I'm so close to finishing my run coaching qualification. I just haven't done my exam part of it because of everything that's been going on with the marathon. on, so I will do that. And yeah, so if anyone is interested in run coaching training or strength training, I'm a personal trainer and I'm very excited to share everything I know and let people feel what I'm feeling right now, because it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling knowing you can do hard things. So I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If anyone has any other questions about the marathon, please feel free to comment them below. Reach out to me on socials, more than happy to chat. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button. We do all the things together here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Blank page. What are we doing next? Bye guys.